Welcome to NFL Nexus. It is finally here, everybody. Super Bowl LX, the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Every single championship game boils down to just a handful of moments. And in this explainer, we are going to break down the 20 players who are going to define those moments. We're counting them down from 20 all the way to number 1 to figure out who is the single most important player in this entire game. So what are we really trying to figure out here? With all this incredible talent on the field, who are the real true difference makers? We're digging in to find the 20 players whose performance, good or bad, is going to have the biggest ripple effect on that final score. Now, if you love deep dives like this and you love the NFL, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for NFL Nexus. We'd love to have you. And hey, while you're at it, if you're looking for a great way to support the channel, check out our coloring books. They're perfect for kids, grandkids, even adults. The link is right down in the description. Now, let's get into this matchup. All right, so on one side of the ball, you've got the Seattle Seahawks. This is a team whose roster is it's almost unfairly deep, especially on the defensive side. They are stacked. And on the other side, the New England Patriots, a franchise that feels completely reborn with some seriously explosive new talent. Now, as we go through this countdown, you're probably going to notice something. There's a whole lot of Seahawks on this list. And that's not our bias. That's a direct reflection of the source material we're breaking down today. It identified this incredible, almost historic concentration of game-changing talent on that Seattle roster. It's the reason they're here.
Okay, let's do this. We're going to kick off our countdown with what we're calling the foundation. These are players 20 down to 11. And you should think of these guys as the absolute pillars of their teams, right? They might not be the flashy MVP candidates that grab all the headlines, but let me be clear. Without their consistent Pro Bowl caliber play, neither of these teams is even sniffing the Super Bowl. Their performance is the bedrock. So, kicking us off at number 20, we've got Seahawks linebacker Uchenna Nwosu. He's a co-leader in sacks and a key piece of that terrifying Seattle pass rush. Coming in at number 19 is Patriots safety Jalen Hawkins. Now, his key stat is total points saved, which is a fancy way of measuring how good a defender is at flat-out preventing scores. And he's third among all safeties. The guy is basically an eraser on the back end. We're right back to Seattle at 18 with DeMarcus Lawrence. This man lives to create chaos. He might not always get the sack, but ranking 4th in the league in QB hurries, that means he is in the quarterback's face all day long, forcing bad throws. And rounding us out at 17 is Seahawks safety Julian Love. What a stud. When opposing offenses dared to throw his way this season, it cost them nearly 18 expected points. He's a true no-fly zone.
All right, let's keep this train rolling. At number 16, we've got our first offensive player, the Patriots running back Travion Henderson. An Offensive Rookie of the Year finalist, he piled up over 1,100 yards from scrimmage and 10 touchdowns. This kid is the real deal. Then, back to the defense at 15, we have Seahawks D lineman Byron Murphy. He's an absolute monster in the trenches, ranking 6th among all defensive linemen with 41 stops. And remember, a stop is a tackle that results in an offensive failure. So he's not just making tackles, he is ending drives single-handedly. And finally, at number 14, a guy whose job is to protect, Seahawks right tackle Abraham Lucas. Get this, on over 500 passing snaps, he allowed only 4 sacks. 4. That level of consistency is just absurd.
We're now closing out this foundational block. At number 13, it's the Patriots right guard, Mike Onwenu. This man is a brick wall. He allowed the 3rd lowest pressure rate among all right guards in the league. You better believe his battle in the trenches against that Seattle D-line is going to be one of the key matchups of this entire game. At number 12, Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III. He's been great all season, but in the playoffs, he becomes a different animal, leading all postseason players with 4 rushing scores. He is clutch personified. And at number 11, the pure electricity of Rashid Shaheed. The Seahawks picked him up in a midseason trade, and what a move it was. He stretches the field on offense, but his real game-breaking value as a returner. He is a threat to take it to the house every single time he touches the football. Okay, we have laid the foundation. Now we enter a whole new level. We're talking about the game changers, players 10 down to 4. These are the elite of the elite, the all-pro talents who can just grab a football game by the scruff of its neck and completely bend it to their will. A single play from any one of these guys could be the moment we're all talking about for years to come. And kicking off our top 10, what a story this is. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold. His career revival has been absolutely phenomenal. He joins Tom Brady, as the only quarterbacks to win 14 or more games in back-to-back seasons.
But the key thing, the reason he's here, is his playoff performance. Just look at this. 4 touchdown passes and, more importantly, 0 interceptions. He's not just winning games, he's playing smart, efficient, mistake-free football. And folks, that is exactly how you win a Super Bowl. Coming in at number 9, we've got Patriots defensive tackle Milton Williams. You could call this guy a championship magnet. This is his 3rd Super Bowl, and he's looking for back-to-back rings. But he's not just some lucky charm. The numbers are staggering. The entire Patriots defense completely transforms when he's on the field. Their pressure rate, their sack rate, it all just nosedives the second he steps on the sideline. He is the absolute engine of that defensive front.
At number 8, it's the rookie phenom Seahawks safety Nick Emonwori. I mean, it is so rare for a rookie to have this kind of immediate impact. He led all safeties in the league in pressures, which earned him a Defensive Rookie of the Year nomination. He's not just a player, he's a weapon, a true chess piece for this defense. Now, he did have a late-season ankle injury that had everyone in Seattle holding their breath, but the word is he is expected to play, and let me tell you, that is absolutely pivotal for the Seahawks' chances to win this thing. Now, for our next player, I just want you to look at this slide. It's just a number, 63. What could that possibly be? It's not a jersey number. It represents pure, consistent, week-in, week-out defensive domination. That number belongs to our number 7 player, Seahawks linebacker Ernest Jones IV. He racked up 63 stops this season. That is the most of any single player on either team in this game. And let's be crystal clear about what a stop is. It's a tackle that forces an offensive failure. So more than anyone else on that field, when Ernest Jones makes a tackle, the offense is going backwards. He's an absolute wrecking ball against the run.
At number 6, we've got yet another force on that insane Seahawks defensive line, Leonard Williams. And really, the quote on the screen says it all, doesn't it? He consistently generated pressure. That's not just fluff, it is backed up by some truly elite production. He was a second-team All-Pro, and his 58 pressures were the 4th most among all interior defensive linemen in the entire NFL. The guy just collapses the pocket from the inside out. And now we crack the top 5 with Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez. This slide right here, this is a perfect picture of what a shutdown corner looks like in 2025. Quarterbacks were brave enough to test him 61 times this season. You know how many of those passes they completed? 26. That's not a completion percentage, that's a rejection rate. And get this, he faced the most targets in zone coverage of any corner in the league this year and did not allow a single touchdown. Wow. His matchup against Seattle's top receiver is going to be an absolute battle for the ages. At number 4, you just gotta love this story. It's the incredible comeback of Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs. After an ACL tear really limited him last season, he has come all the way back to be a true elite number 1 receiver again. This chart shows his receiving percentage, basically the rate at which he catches catchable passes. At 83.3%, it was the 5th best mark in the entire league. He is Mr. Reliable. When his quarterback absolutely needs a completion on a critical down, he's looking for number 14. And here we are. We've made it. The top 3. The Super Bowl elite. Folks, these aren't just star players. These are generational talents. These are the MVP candidates, the record breakers, the guys who are defining this entire era of football. And I'd be willing to bet that the team lifting the Lombardi Trophy will have one of these 3 players to thank for it. So who's coming in at number 3? Well, it's the best defensive back in this game. Hands down. A true lockdown island in that vaunted Seattle secondary. It is, of course, Seahawks cornerback Devin Witherspoon. The slide here defines his impact perfectly. He's so good, he literally forces quarterbacks to stop looking at his side of the field. Think about this for a second. In over 400 coverage snaps, offenses only dared to throw a deep ball his way 14 times. 14! And in the red zone, where the field shrinks, they avoided him like the plague. He's one of only 5 corners in NFL history to make the Pro Bowl in each of his first 3 seasons. The man is the definition of elite. All right, number 2, the second most important player in Super Bowl LX, the field general for the New England Patriots, a finalist for league MVP. At number 2, it's Patriots quarterback Drake May. Just take a second and look at these numbers from his MVP finalist campaign. 4th in the league in passing yards, 3rd in passing touchdowns, and number one in both QBR and total EPA, or expected points added, which is the best stat with have for measuring a player's raw contribution to the scoreboard. So while Sam Darnold is the efficient, steady game manager, Drake May is the explosive, dynamic playmaker.
He is the entire engine of this Patriots offense and was, statistically, the most dominant quarterback in the NFL this season. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. The number one player in Super Bowl LX. The most dominant, the most impactful, the most valuable player on either roster. The player who has put together a season that we will be talking about for a very, very long time.
Jackson Smith-Njigba, the Seahawks wide receiver, is our number one player. And I promise you that is not hyperbole. I mean, I'm just going to read the quote on the screen because it says everything. He is having one of the greatest seasons by a wide receiver in NFL history. He was named a first-team All-Pro and the AP Offensive Player of the Year. He is, to put it as simply as possible, completely and utterly unstoppable. And if you need any more proof, this final slide puts his historic season into perspective. Let this sink in. Including the playoffs, Jackson Smith-Njigba has 1,965 receiving yards. That number ties him with the GOAT, Jerry Rice, and his legendary 1995 season for the fourth most receiving yards all time. When your name is on a list right next to Jerry Rice, you are in legendary territory. He can beat any coverage, he can run any route, and he has been the single most dominant non-quarterback in football all year. He's the best player in this game, period. So there you have it, folks, the 20 players who are going to decide Super Bowl LX. We've got MVP candidates, shutdown corners, rookie sensations, dominant linemen. The sheer concentration of talent in this game is mind-boggling. And it all leaves us with one final, fascinating question. With the field this absolutely loaded, is this game going to be won by the sheer unstoppable brilliance of a superstar like Drake May or Jackson Smith-Njigba? Or will it be one of those unsung heroes, one of those foundational players we talked about at the start of our list, who steps up and creates that one defining, unforgettable championship-winning moment? Let me know who you think the Super Bowl MVP will be down in the comments. Thanks for watching NFL Nexus, and don't forget to subscribe.